Hello.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to another Momodora Reverie under the Moonlight tournament match. Today's match is another really close one. We got MatosMachine and we got Seb. I'm joined by
Me.
Double Double. That's how you say your name, right?
Yeah, exactly. You got it right. You got it right.
Okay. That's good. I don't want to butcher anything. This is big though. Big match. We got MatosMachine and we got Seb. Minute difference roughly between each other. Matos got a 2303, just recently obtained, and Seb got a 2224. So we're looking at another match here where both of these runners should have solid movement, and mostly we'll just be seeing any sort of difference in their runs from the bosses. So it should be exciting here. You feeling excited?
Oh yeah, I'm excited. We're very close. We're getting closer and closer to the
About 3 more matches to the end,
to
right?
the grand finals.
Yeah.
That will determine a winner. We've got 4. Just this tournament started with 16 competitors. We're down to 4. There's just Dream Fox who's sitting in the waiting room over there in the winner bracket finals, the upper bracket finals.
Somewhere around there. I don't keep track on bracket names. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I don't either. I just know because I have the bracket in front of me.
Yeah, getting close to the wire here. So a lot of good matches here, including this one.
So Dream Fox is our as third seed of this tournament is the winner of the upper bracket. So currently waiting in the grand finals, defeating a certain person in the upper bracket final.
Maybe
that certain person is Googler or my fellow commentator here.
Yeah.
But it's not. But hey, it's an upper bracket loss, so you're not out yet. You're in your own little waiting room, seeing
True.
who comes through for the lower bracket finals. Which that's the match that we have on our screens here today is Matos versus Seb. This is the second to last match in the lower bracket. The winner of this will be taking on Googler.
Yeah, and the match should be starting shortly. Let me see.
Yep, runners are ready. Just waiting for them to actually press play and get game 1 on the way.
True.
Did not intend for that to rhyme, but it did, so we're rolling with it.
So, to start things off, you mind telling people what the story of the game is?
There's a curse in the land and you're sent to solve it.
Yeah. That's good. That's a good bottom line. We're here to stop this malarkey from happening. Starting out, though, in the run, first area of the game, Sacred Ordalia Grove. Oh, hey, are they running music? Yeah, okay, sorry, my volume was low. Yeah, so starting the run off, you start in a pretty cool spot called Sacred Ordalia Grove. This place lends itself well to a lot of the game's like really tight movement, and there's a lot of like little optimizations and stuff. But at the same time, you're going to be only dodging enemies, occasionally grabbing some money. But as you're doing all that, the enemies have this sporadic movement, like these little imps here you see on Seb's side. Those little things will be jumping about, throwing stuff at you, getting in your way. I mean, they'll use contact damage like it's their primary weapon. Like, they go crazy with it. So...
yeah, it's also not entirely consistent. It's pretty... There's like a few things that we can do, so we know what they can do, but what they actually decide to do is pretty random.
Yeah. For the most part, you're just taking rooms on with one intended path, but sometimes it can differ a little bit, and you might have ways to counteract that.
Yeah. So the main piece of movement tech that the runners are doing here is pressing the roll and jump buttons on the same frame, and that causes them to roll into the air. We call it a roll jump because it's rolling and jumping. We're good at naming
simple as
things.
that. Well, I mean, that's a good name. I'd say so.
It's I mean, it's on the nose.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, when you say like yeet, you know, you're not exactly sure what you're referring to that.
Yeah.
You know.
Also for this.
Yeah, Seb missing the elevator.
Made the platform cycle, but then got knocked back down.
Yeah, like that's an example of the little imps here. Oh, that's another example.
Did he take a save?
Oh, okay. He came prepared. I did not expect that, but sometimes that can happen. Sometimes you just can get destroyed.
Yeah, first lead swing right there.
Yeah, it can catch up on you if you mess up a lot of movement too. You can also just take damage there without any sort of like RNG getting your way. You know, messy movement can get you dead. Get you dead. Good.
Also, I'm not used to seeing arrows to open chests. I'm used to the melee hit. All right, Matos setting up for the quick kill on the day that you can do.
Nice. All right.
There we go. Pause to buffer it.
That's still good though.
Yeah, pause to
still get it off by the first.
Pausing to buffer it, then unpausing and letting go. So the pearl on the back of Idea, that's the weak point. How you would normally do this fight is wait for attacks to come out.
Ooh. Both gain the pause buffer.
Yeah, you wait for attacks to come out, and during the attacks, you can actually shoot through Idea's body and hit the pearl. But yeah, this is a weird quick kill. There's weird stuff that happens with damage calculation when you fire the arrows on that attack where Idea puts her pearl in front of her. And it just instantly kills her. Like the combination of 3 arrows should not be enough damage to kill, but for that particular set of circumstances, that's why the pause buffer is there, is to hit a day on a specific frame.
And
it's
a weird process.
It's a process it's just the kind of a process of stars aligning and good things happen.
Yeah, a little bit of bit flipping, you know, manipulating the rays, the cosmic rays.
In the meantime, so the runners have now bought the item that they collected money for at the start, which is the crystal seed. On top of that, the runners also have an item called the Idea's Pearl.
And throughout the game, they'll be using the items they get from the bosses, which you can only get from killing them without taking damage, to fight every boss after that.
Yep, in all the patches, the calculation for damages was kind of flawed. It just what it specifically looked for was no health change. So if you healed during the fight and took no damage otherwise, you still wouldn't get the item. But in later patches, such as 1.06, 1.07, that has been fixed, and now it specifically only looks for you taking damage. So if you heal and don't take damage, you still do get it.
With the Lubellify in mind, though, I think Matos was the one that got a dive, and Seb did not. So a little bit of a comeback there for Seb in terms of pace there.
Yeah.
Wait. Excuse me. Never mind. I forgot. Matos took a little bit of a lead there. For a moment there, when they were leaving the Lubella room, Seb took the lead a little bit, but I guess he must have paused or something. I don't know. Trying to keep up on these two.
Anyway,
neck and neck.
But yeah, so the crystal seed is an item. It gives you a 50% boost to your damage output. Remind me, what is boosted by? Is it everything or just melee and bow on the crystal seed? Because
I'm pretty sure it's melee and bow.
Yeah, I believe so.
Pretty sure. Items stay away from the damage buffs.
Because spoilers, there's going to be an improvement item for damage amplification that does affect everything.
Yeah, later on.
Yeah, but Idea's Pearl adds a poison property. It's some nice damage over time, so gives you a nice little bit of extra DPS.
And the Bachman patch, which we got from Lubella, does this barrage of blocks you just dump on the boss. It's kind of straight out of a Stickman animation.
And each of those little blocks you see raining down has their own individual
Hitbox.
hitbox, and that's
Yeah.
going to also come into play later when we get some of the later boss items. However, Adea's Pearl, the poison, it's a double-edged sword because that cloud that spawns from it, that's what poisons the boss. You can poison yourself with that, and if even one tick happens during the actual boss fight, that means you took damage and you get no boss item.
Yeah, you gotta be careful with it. You gotta watch yourself. To explain this area real quick, though, subterranean grave, same case like Grove, where it's got some really good spots to do movement in. Except instead of like sporadic little enemies just getting in your way, you gotta watch out for the spikes. And on top of that, you gotta make sure you do the movement right, because otherwise, rolling is actually unaffected when you're underwater. But everything else, like walking, moving, jumping, and that, super slow. So you're almost stuck to these very committed rolls and roll jumps. You don't want to, miss a roll jump, and then you're just rolling straight into spikes without anything to do about it. Besides that, though, they both made it through pretty cleanly. Like I said, though, their movement's really, really good. The bosses will be mostly what's really creating a difference in the run.
Yeah, this is boss number 3, Derelict Frida. The bird boss that we all know and love.
Yeah.
It's Burb.
Yeah. With her, she mostly stays stationary, occasionally throwing out some of her weird attacks. For these two, they're both getting up close and just attacking her. This is the primary way to do it, like, really fast.
Yeah, it is the faster way, but it's also more risky because you do have to be wary of what attacks Frida does.
You need to keep on your toes and anticipate what she'll throw out when she does.
Yeah, exactly. The alternative strategy is to sit in the corner, duck, and then just spam arrows. That's to say, it's slower, but a hell of a lot safer.
Yeah, she can't hit you from there for the most part. There's one attack, but it's really easy. You just stand up and walk towards her and whack her. And then she's back to her normal spot.
Yeah, she can try to peck you, but when you're sitting in the corner, either A, you're sitting in the correct position, so Frida does it from too far away, and she will never hit you. B, you can see it coming fast enough that you can jump and dodge it. Then there's the laser, which flies over your head if you're ducking, which is the reason you're sitting in the corner and ducking specifically, is so you auto dodge it. And yeah, the third attack is an attack that charges up and then it does like a big blast. And yeah, that attack, you see the particles effects of it charging, so you come up and hit her 4 times to cancel that out.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
they're moving on to Lubella too.
Yeah, boss number 4, the refight with Lubella.
Somewhat the same as the last time. You got a little bit more items, so you kind of chew through her health faster. Other than that, she mainly just fires off her projectiles more and faster.
Yeah, and oh no, Matos died!
No, what? Oh,
and Seb also died
too. What? Well, what's gonna happen now? Wait, what's going on Matos' side?
The game is...
Is that a cat? That is a cat.
Yeah, that's a fake death.
Escaping.
So yeah, that's a fake death. That scripted happens. It's Lubella's attempt at taking you with her when she dies, and you get cursed into being a cat. Although I use that term very loosely because very shortly we're gonna escape this area. There's a lot you can still do as a cat, and you get an item here that lets you freely switch. Lets you switch between human and cat form at will. So it really is not much of a curse. If anything, it's a blessing. So.
And we'll be using it much later on in the run, almost primarily, but occasionally we will be switching back and forth. Basically the same as human movement in terms of cat form.
Yeah, there's a few differences.
There is a few differences, but primarily you're still doing roll jumps. Yeah, more so canceling them at certain times and that.
Yeah, the regular running speed is faster for regular running as a cat is faster than rolling as a human.
But you're still going to be doing roll jump cancels.
But yeah, roll jumping as a cat is still faster. Yeah, exactly. The only downside to look out for is that specifically as a cat, there's a considerable slowdown at the end of the roll, and that's where the attack comes in. The attack is there to cancel out that slowdown.
Hmm.
So when you're roll jumping as a cat, you do have to mix that attack in there, and that's where the movement gets a bit more input heavy. Also, yeah, also both runners just dipping into a room and going back out. We'll touch on that more in a bit. But first, we gotta beat up the boss that isn't really a boss, because we do 2 attacks and he's gone, boss.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's a boss coming up. There's a knight. You do 2 sparse threads as a human, and you're done. So the sparse thread is the damageless boss item for not for
Frida.
Lupella, for Frida, yeah. Yeah, it's just a big burst of damage submitted
It's
from
like
yourself.
little pulse.
Yeah,
But
just
getting through
kind
the
of a
soldier
burst
like
ring.
that, just as you said, like a boss that doesn't even exist.
Yeah, exactly. Something joke about not about ignoring there being a boss there.
Yeah. But other than that, though, what is going on right now is we're backtracking so that we can grab this upgrade that is in an area we can only get through cat form. It lets us warp from save point to save point.
Yeah,
The
wouldn't be a
save
Metroid
point-
without wouldn't be a Metroidvania without backtracking.
Yeah.
So we go through this lightning and transform the world into Flora Ciela. Yeah, and as we mentioned, all we're coming here to do is pick up a fragment. We need 4 to enter an area later that we need to enter to get an item to get the true ending, which is required for these runs, for the speed runs.
Mhm.
But yeah, this specific crest fragment gives us the ability to warp. We also picked up a crest fragment after beating Frida, which speeds up the bow charge, and that's also going to come into play. That is actually going to change something about how you deal damage with the bow. But yeah, the reason the runners just dipped into a room and then back out, that's because in order to be able to warp to an area, you need to have physically been present in the room that contains the save point you warp to.
Mm-hmm. So they
So
were
they
just
dip it-
dotting that on their list so that they could use it once they got the warp upgrade.
Yeah, so it's literally that they just dipping into the room they warp to when they warp, so it's on the warp list when they pick up the warp item. But yeah, the bow charge is gonna come into play here in this fight against the arsonist, where the fastest way to deal damage with the arrows at the start of the game is to just spam them. Just spam the uncharged variant. However, now that we have a faster charging speed, the fastest damage output for the bow is actually to do what we call half charges or level 1s. You know, the uncharged being level 0. That's the yellow particles that you see.
Seb taking a hit. That sets them back a little bit. They got close in that fight, so that's going to knock them back like 20 or so seconds.
And yes, this is what we mentioned. Bosses, we do need to do these bosses damageless, so taking a hit means a reset, or taking a considerable time loss of trying to do the rest of the game without it. But this is a very impactful item, the Pocket Incendiary. So if you get hit, you do want to reset for this. Because remember when I said that the Bachman patch, each of those little blocks has its own little hitbox? The Pocket Incendiary adds a flame property to your arrows, which also gives it extra damage. The flame property does extra damage. It does that for every single little block in that Bachman patch. So the damage output gets so dramatically increased from the Pocket Incendiary that it's absolutely vital.
So just finishing up Arsonist there. Matos already getting ready for the next fight, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Before that, though, you have to take a little bit of a pit stop so you can talk to this chick and get the key from her to open the door to the next fight. Cotilla, the witch, cat witch. In later patch of the game, this is the only character you can talk to in cat form. Every other time you interact with a person, you auto transform back into a human in later patches.
And
a little
the
thing.
crest fragment that you pick up after the arsonist is one we love as speedrunners because it's a dash. It's an air dash. Now, get ready for this fight. Look at Matos' screen. So arrows, couple melee hits, sparse threats, force this attack from her, rain down blocks, and yeah, she is done.
Yeah, quick though.
Only fight in the game where we can genuinely manipulate the outcome. One arrow, a few melee hits, 2 sparse threats will quickly force Fennel into sort of a phase 2 where she flips back, then primes a sword for a while, and then tries to come down at you. And yeah, the extra hits that Matos did was basically to set up for the Bachman patch, because if you trigger phase 2 and were to do it immediately, you will miss half of the Bachman patch because of invincibility frames.
Yeah, you gotta be smart about it.
Yeah,
so,
on top of that, while the Bachman patch is raining down, you can also just fire a couple arrows, do some melee attacks to just drain the health bar just that bit quicker. It's all the same level of satisfying though, seeing that the health get absolutely melted. If anyone's played this casually, you might be familiar with how tough that fight to do is without a cheese strat like that. Fennel, one of the absolutely toughest fights in casual play. So it might be a little vindicating for you if you're seeing Fennel get absolutely melted like that. Also, last thing, the damages item is the Tainted Missive. This is the improved damage amplifying item that I mentioned before. It has 2 uses instead of the Crystal Seeds 1, plus it boosts damage by 100%, and it affects every bit of damage you can do. So also other items. The trade-off, however, for that is that you do take 25% of your max health as damage. And this is not mitigated by anything. If you're at below 25% of your max health when you use it, you will die. So we're gonna see it actually be used here by Matos, specifically before the fight starts. Because how the game detects you getting damage during a boss fight is any damage you take while there is a boss health bar on screen. Meaning, you have a 2-part fight here with Magnolia and Lupiar. And yeah, absolutely phenomenal fight there, by the way, from Matos.
Yeah, that was good.
Lupiar Magnolia is this speedrun's graveyard. This is where runs come to die.
And not much hassle at all, really, from that spot, really. From either of them, too. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. They were very nice. Lupiar particularly. Yeah, there's the setup. We have to do like some Bachman patches and a sparse thread and maybe a couple melee hits, but there's no way to manipulate the pattern.
Ooh. Seb got hit, but I think he's gonna commit. Which honestly is the best thing he can do at the moment, really.
Yeah.
He hasn't been able to really catch up on Matos here. It's been a pretty chunky lead from Matos for the last like 3 to 4 segments here.
Yeah, that's just a testament to how well Matos is playing. Like,
oh yeah, Matos has been practicing hard.
Don't be fooled by Seb consistently being behind. Seb is still playing so extremely well.
Yeah. Matos has a lot of practice, and Seb has, as far as I know, not too much. So even with that in mind, you know, this lead is still not much, considering, you know, how little practice he's put in.
Alright, so to catch up what the runners have been doing, if you want to look at Seb's screen right now, there's a Bachman patch coming down. That's to hit a off-screen switch to open up a ladder there. We're going to be warping back there later. That is exactly what Matos is doing, is warping back, and now the ladder's there. So what's been happening in the meantime? After Fennel, you pick up the final crest fragment, which gives you an additional charge level that your bow can reach. We call it either supercharge or level 3. As we mentioned, level 0 is uncharged. Level 1 is half charge, where you hold the button down but release it before it's fully charged. Then there's the full charge, which we call full charge or level 2. And then there's the new bow charge level, which you can call level 3 or supercharge. I personally prefer charge terms, but some people use levels. After that, the 4 crash fragments, you need to pick them up to get into the Royal Pinacotheca. This is where you pick up, you move through it, you pick up the sealed wind. You use the sealed wind on that windmill. You upgrade your leaf. It's now green, and that is, and upgrading your leaf into the fresh spring leaf is what triggers the true ending. So then
and by the
along
leaderboard's rules, we only do the true ending for runs that are qualified. So you just have to
because
I'm to grab that before finishing the final fight.
I'm pretty sure a run without it. So like a quote unquote bad ending run. I'm pretty sure that's just a straight shot from the start of the game to the final boss, right?
Pretty much.
So so we wanted the run to be a little bit more interesting than that. So
because there was no credits at the end of the bad ending. It just takes you back to the title screen. Whereas the true ending gives you credits, the whole ending sequence, and the whole offer for New Game Plus. So we felt that was more cemented in, finishing the game.
Yeah. All right. Well, solid phase 1 and 2 on the Queen here.
Yeah, I think for the most part,
Matos is actually not far behind. If something goes wrong and Matos dies here, then Seb is probably winning. So
we'll have to
stay on your guard. This run is not over until time is stopped. There it is. Time is stopped. Okay, GG to Matos. Game 1.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, 23:18 is a sick time. That's lower than my summer best. I've been running this game for, a bit. Not overly long, like 6-7 months, I want to say.
I can't even remember. It's been a little bit, though.
Yeah, my summer best is around the 25. But that's also partly because I don't do things like the riskier strats that the runners are doing. Like I don't do a day a quick kill. I don't do Tainted Missive, Lupiar Magnolia. What else is there? I don't do cat roll jumping. I just run as a cat, and which is essentially the second fastest way of movement. Like if you're not doing cat roll jumping, then your next best movement option is to do to just run as a cat.
All right, it'll be about a minute or so until the next match starts. Other than that, that was good. Pretty good speed between the two. Seb did die at the end there though, but that was without heavy arrows. So immediately you're guaranteed to actually play out that last segment there, where
the final boss fight,
final form, and there's a lot more attacks to avoid, and you're just way slower. So
the third phase of that boss fight is also exclusive to the true ending. If you haven't triggered the true ending and you do the bad ending, as we mentioned earlier,
game ends on phase 2.
Yeah, it ends after phase 2, and you get the bad ending text, and you don't get the credits. You get kicked to the title screen.
Spits you back out to the title screen.
Yeah. You can still go back to your save though. You can still go back to your save and.
Yeah, it just takes you back. Your save is fine, just from the last time you saved.
You can go. Yeah,
just go back and grab the sealed wind or the spring leaf, whichever comes first.
Yeah, exactly. Roll back into your save, and you can just go back and do all the stuff that you need to do for the true ending. Because it's like this nice sequence of flags essentially you need to hit. There's like. To get the true ending, you need the fresh spring leaf. To get the fresh spring leaf, you need the sealed wind. To get the sealed wind, you need to get into the Royal Pinacotheca. To get into the Royal Pinacotheca, you need to collect the crest fragments. And to get the crest fragments, you need to beat a bunch of the bosses.
Other than that, though, would you say that was? I think really, Seb lost the lead after Arsonist, right? It was at I mean, obviously there's loop year and stuff, but I think that the like where it really like separated and stayed like that in terms of pace was at Arsonist, right?
Yeah, Arsonist was the first. Well, there was Seb had a death in Grove.
But he did catch up
But
after the
but then yeah,
Lupella fight
then
a
he
little bit,
yeah
and
then
then he lost the speed. He lost the pace a little bit, but I think when
yeah
it
that was
like
the
it
yeah there
was
was the
significantly when he was significantly behind was after Arsonist. I'm wondering
yeah
if that might be where
exactly.
it was at.
That's how you can essentially recap this race. Is Seb died in Grove, then Matos got a dive on Lubella 1 where Seb didn't. That more or less lined things back up again, and it stayed very equal from there until Seb took a hit on Arsonist and had to reset, and it's just been status quo from there. So that's generally how it progressed. Although I feel like Seb's been catching up because I feel like when Seb entered the Queen fight, he was less behind than than after Arsonist.
Yeah, caught up a little bit.
So this is still very promising, and this will by no means be guaranteed like a free win for Matos in game 2. There's a very good
Oh
chance that we'll
no,
see a
not
game
at
3
all.
in this.
Yeah, honestly, if Matos died, then Seb had a pretty good chance to catch up there. It was Seb kept it pretty tight. If you're behind, then it's still good to keep your own end up, because then at that point, you have to rely on the other person to mess up. When you're that behind, you have to rely on the other person to mess up and stay focused on your own movement.
Yeah, exactly. And there's definitely a never give up mentality you need for these kinds of runs. Like I've
Hmm.
seen I've both in my matches this tournament as well as I've seen in matches that I've done commentary for. Uh there's been these moments where a person makes a bunch of mistakes and is convinced that they're gonna lose, but then they get the queen and it's like, why has the other person not finished yet? I've made so many mistakes. How has the other person not finished yet?
Hmm.
It's like you
Yeah,
realize it's like, okay, comeback might be on. Let's go.
yeah. At that point, you just got to you got to keep your momentum up. You got to keep a good pace going so that
Also, while
you
we
just play again. You can play around how unforgiving this game can be.
yeah, while we wait for the runners to get ready for game 2 and perhaps you know prep themselves for game 2.
They're about to get ready actually right now.
Yeah,
Grab a snack real quick. Go, go, go. You got like 15, maybe like 20 seconds. Go.
That's fine. I'll sit it out. If we get to a game 3, I can acquire hydration tools then.
True. Hopefully. Yeah, hopefully. We get game 3.
Yeah, like yeah. If you're in chat and you're enjoying this, give your energy to Seb. Like we need to
Mhm.
root for Seb on this one, specific solely so we can see a game 3.
Okay, well,
Like it's
I don't
fine
know
if you
about solely. Like, okay.
like it's
Showing
fine
your
if you
true
want if
intentions here.
it's fine if you're rooting for Matos, but root for him in game 3 so we can see more Momo.
It's a little bit better. There you go.
Yeah. No, I'm saying specifically for this game 2, root for Seb so we can get a game 3 out of this. We're in the
Just
final stages
using
of this.
Seb to get a game
We're in the
3.
final stages of this tournament. We've got to squeeze out as much Momo as we can before this tournament's done.
Yeah, I would be interested to see the outcome of this one. Seb's definitely gotten a little bit of time to warm up a little bit more here.
All
Got
right.
a little
So
bit of
yeah,
a decent curve, but not too bad. Both of them game 3 are pretty clean, so I imagine they're both neck and neck
yeah, it's
right
about
now.
Yeah, discrepancy about 4 seconds. 4 seconds in the future on Seb's side.
Yeah. Doesn't seem like Matos actually does any roll jump, or excuse me, roll cancels, but in some places here, that's actually good. Because sometimes you can screw up your alignment with it, and you end up just being slower than if you were to just take it safe like Matos is here.
Yeah.
So it's, it's, and especially in a
Also,
race setting, safe strats
focus
are
on
super smart.
Focus on Matos' screen right here. This imply here with the shield. That's one of those. That's one of the worst offenders of imps not having consistent movement, and what they do really mess you up. You really have to adapt to where they exactly are positioned by the time you get there on whether you want to roll. Because if you're just blindly rolling, more often than not, you're just going to roll into them and get knocked back on with contact damage.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and right there, Seb just got hit with the dagger. A little bit of slow movement on their part, but sometimes the imps can pressure you like that to move quick, so you just try to make it.
Yeah. Didn't matter for the platform cycle, though, since the platforms are... all the cycles in this game are room dependent, and they also start at the same point every time you enter the room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's really easy to reset room if you need to.
Yeah, there's one room in the subterranean grave that I'll point out later where one of my self-invented backup strats, if I miss the platform cycles, the room with the swingy platforms. That if I miss the cycle, my solution is not to try and adapt to the cycle, but to just leave and re-enter the room and do the practiced movement again to get it.
Yeah, I do that a couple of times, or I do that with a couple of rooms.
Also, quick kill. These runners are beasts at this game, so they just easy get it.
Mm-hmm.
Easy pause buffer.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
As we runners say, easy every time.
Yeah. I don't say that, but yeah.
That quick kill is. That quick kill is. I mean, slash half joking.
Well, I'm being a little goofy.
Yeah, that is what I was gonna say next. It's like don't let these runners fool you. That trick is is very precise. These people are just good at it.
Mm. Oh my gosh! And you look what you did. You cursed Matos. Right after you said that. Oh,
Game
right
3!
into spikes. Yeah.
Game 3, let's go.
First instinct.
Yeah.
We got another like 30 minutes on our hands.
Game 3 manipulation. That's what this is. Yeah, dying in the movement up to Lubella 1 on Mocha and Lubella. This fight is that's one of the biggest places to lose time in a race. In a PB, it's fine because you just reset and try again. But yeah, in a race, it's just a considerable time loss.
Yeah, everything's punishing.
Also, something we neglected to mention in Game 1, so we'll mention it here, is this little fairy that occasionally shows up and just rains down a bunch of blue rays. That fairy is Konami. That's with a C, so C-O-N-A-M-I.
I don't know where that comes from, I'm gonna be real with you. I was not calling out. As far as I'm aware, we call it the blue fairy.
Oh, maybe you mentioned it and I didn't realize, but in that case, reiteration. Konami, directional inputs of the Konami code. If you're playing this casually, there's a special room somewhere where there's a character that tells you about it in like a roundabout way. It's like, hey, if you press these directions on the D-pad, something special might happen. It's the directional inputs of the Konami code, and yeah, it summons the little fairy. It's its own little hidden item that has one use, and the uses of an item replenish when you hit a save bell. So even in a speedrun, like in a PB attempt, you'll occasionally hit save bells, not to actually save, in case you need to reset, because if there's anything you would reset or die over in PB attempts, at the level that these runners are, that's just a reset like full run reset. But yeah, hit save bells to replenish your items. Mm-hmm. There's actually an exploit. I mean, would you count it as I would more so say clever use of clever use of intended game mechanics rather than exploit. Where for Lubella 2, what the runners do is activate the crystal seed and then hit the save bell to get the usage of it back. Then roll into the fight. So you basically have half of the crystal seed left for the start of the fight, and then you can use it an additional time.
In case she rolls. Or, excuse me, dies. Then you have an extra one to hold on to until she's back.
Yeah, exactly. If she doesn't do the dive, you can generally do enough damage to kill her before your crystal seed wears off. Because that's something I haven't actually asked about. Is if the duration is different between crystal seed and tainted missive. That is something I actually never thought to ask.
Yeah, me neither.
As far as we're concerned, it's same length.
Yeah, we can get stuff done with it, so I don't even bother to think about the time. All I know is that I need to hurry up if I'm slowing down. It doesn't last forever.
So yeah, on top of the any percent that that you can see on screen for the category for this tournament, there's also a normal tournament. So that refers to the difficulty. Players are playing on normal difficulty. Easy and normal are the same difficulty, with the difference between that on easy you have more health and take less damage, and I believe you do more damage to bosses as well on easy.
I don't know about your own damage output, probably, but yeah, you do take less damage. Your damage is
so that's on easy. Normal is the generally intended difficulty. Hard then means you take double damage. Do you also do less damage on hard?
I don't think your own damage is.
Okay, not your own damage, but you do take double damage, and you also have less health. And then there's
insane.
It's
split in half. I'm not sure.
It might be half health, yeah.
From normal, half of normal.
Yeah, from normal, and then easy you might have double the health you have in normal. It might be that like static.
Now, yeah, I think it is.
On top,
I think it's
however,
that now.
If you beat the game on hard difficulty, that's when you unlock insane. It's the exact same difficulty as hard, with one minor little twist, except it's not minor at all, because the twist is you have 1 health. So you die in 1 hit to everything. And the only way to change that is to
gather up a majority of the health upgrades around the map. And even then, you're mostly looking at surviving 1 hit from the contact damage of the enemies near the beginning of the game. You'll still be dying instantly regardless.
Exactly. So, yeah, picking up the vitality fragments is... Is it called vitality fragments? I'm feeling like I'm getting that terminology wrong.
Vitality fragments. I think you got it, yeah.
So, there's 2 types of collectibles in this game. There's vitality fragments, which extend your health, and there's ivory bugs, which are just a 100% collectible, essentially. There's a character you give them to if you have them all, but I forget what the reward for it is.
They give you some money, just more and more money. I think in the middle there's a bellflower they give you, which is like an Estus flask kind of, and a Passiflora, which is a full heal item.
I
use the term Estus flask very loosely, though. This game does get compared to like being Dark Souls, but it's very, very loose. You have to take with a huge grain of salt.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, the bellflower is it's an item you pick up and you restore a little bit. You restore a bit of your health. Except there's multiple bellflowers to find, and each bellflower you find just gives you an additional use before you have to replenish it as a save bell.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Lubella 2, that the runners both just get past. That's the only in the normal route where everything goes according to plan, and you don't have to as a plan B skip out on an item if you get hit. Lubella 2 is the only boss you don't have to do damage to, aside from obviously the final boss, because the game ends after that.
Mm-hmm. Or Clone Angel. The only problem with Clone Angel,
Clone
damage is just you lose out on the cycle. But
Yeah, exactly.
You don't need a reset.
Yeah, I'm speaking in terms of the proper bosses. The and the reason for that is that Lubella 2's damages boss item is pretty useless to us as speedrunners. It's an item that restores a small amount of health per kill you get. Not only are we good enough at this game to not need that, we're also just generally not killing enemies unless they're absolutely in the way. So even if we could have a use for it, we're not killing enemies to actually make use of it.
Other than that, though, it's somewhat of like the reverse here, with Seb having a little bit of a lead over Matos here now.
Yeah, exactly. There's not been, as far as I could tell, there was no Lubella dives for either players.
I wasn't exactly sure on what happened to separate the two, but
so there's been no major swings. Yeah, Matos is a little bit behind.
Probably like a good
Matos
30 seconds here.
Just hit the room of the Forlorn Monastery, which is like the most frequently used warp point. There's only 2 times where you don't warp to it. There's warping to Karst City after you get all the fragments, because that's the closest warp point to the entrance to the Royal Pinacotheca, where you go next. And then when you upgrade the leaf for the true ending, you warp to Karst Castle. Every other warp that we do in this run is to the monastery. It's an extremely convenient central point. Yeah, we first warp to it after getting the fragment that lets us warp in the first place, that Seb is getting at this almost very second.
Yeah. Yeah, keeping that strong pace, really. I mean, taking a hit or two, but really.
Yeah, going to the Forlorn Monastery to then dip into the Cinder Chambers, then you teleport. Then you teleport back to it after beating Arsonist and picking up the dash fragment. To then go to Cotiller to get the monastery key. Then you warp back to the monastery again. To go up to beat Fennel. Then when you get the Sealed Wind, when you beat Lupior Magnolia, you venture to Karst Castle, to the save point where you use the Bachman Press, the hidden off-screen switch, to make the ladder appear, and also enter the room in Karst City, so you can Karst Castle, so you can warp to it. Then you warp back to Forlorn Monastery again, because it's the closest save. Not only is it the closest warp point to the place where you upgrade the leaf, it's also the closest save point, which is why you also backtrack to that save point to warp back to Karst Castle after upgrading the leaf. But yeah, anyway, getting back to the collectibles. So there's 2 collectibles. There's Vitality Fragments and Ivory Bugs. And then there's exactly 1 optional boss in this game. The Archpriestess Choir. Which means, and because there's 1 optional boss, that means we can have an all bosses category. Except we don't have all bosses as a separate category. We lump it in with the also getting the collectibles for a speedrun completion category. Because actually 100% for this game includes filling out the map completely. So we figured we'd just make a speedrun category that doesn't have to do that, but we do all the other stuff for 100%. Which gave birth to the category AVIB. All Vitality Fragments, Ivory Bugs, and Bosses.
So, Seb, just really keep it like I said, totally in reverse here. Matos and Seb, or Matos really is about like 30 seconds behind here.
Yeah, so something I want to point out.
Let up from Seb here.
Yeah, something I want to point out about Arsonist here. This is Matos is doing this sort of intentionally, as just the hit comes in right at the end.
Oh, is Matos gonna commit? I think he might, or maybe he doesn't realize it. I don't know.
It's really late. Pocketed Sensory is pretty important, but I think
you can't. I mean, you would have. Oh, committing to the ultimate max. What the heck? Oh. So
this is interesting.
Only do Matos go on without the item that they need, a pretty big one too. They also accepted more dialogue to skip through from that from Cap the night.
Yeah, so this is what I wanted to point out about Arsonist. What Matos was doing, staying on the right side of the screen, was intentional because there's 2 time saves you can have, you can work into your arsonist fight. Besides obviously doing the fight fast, is being as far as to the right of the screen as possible because that's where you want to leave, and then also being as close to Kath as possible because she has to physically walk over from where she is standing at the end of the fight to where you are. So if the smaller the distance is, the less walking Kath does. And then as Googler mentioned, there's a dialogue option with Kath there between yes or no. Saying no is the mean option, but unfortunately it's faster, so we have to unfortunately be mean to Kath. But yeah, presumably by accident, Matos picked yes, which is longer dialogue.
Yeah. We don't know, though. We don't know. That might be intentional.
Yeah. Kath actually calls you a roach for not helping her out when you say no after arsonist.
Yeah. Oh.
Costly death there.
Yeah, that was...
Where's it back? Well, it's not too far back. It was a death
on
the way to
they were on their way
Cotillards.
to Fennel. I wasn't exactly sure where they died.
Oh, on the way to Fennel even, yeah. So that's...
Yeah. It's not
so,
bad, but
So,
not
the good news... Yeah, so the good news is that's not too much of a time loss. The bad news is Matos is behind, so that's just getting further behind. It's...
Yeah, it's a good bit of bleed.
Not
time
quite...
is definitely bleeding here.
Don't matter if the time loss is small. If you're behind, you don't want time loss.
That being said, though, Seb is coming up to Loopier, which she's pretty good
we'll
at
see how this
stalling
goes.
a bit, so
yeah, Matos needing to
try not to crop but...
needing to man mode this Fennel fight because of the lack of damage. Lack of damage from the pocketed sensory.
Not really much stagger, you know.
But just absolutely beast this fight anyway.
Yeah, considering he practices the category where you use no items, that's nothing for him. And he has items on top of it, so, you know, he's doubly prepared.
Yeah, I mentioned...
still took the wrong word, though. It's unfortunate.
I did mention this earlier. I did mention this earlier about AVIP being alternative category. So yeah, Matos is kind of a low percent merchant. Likes doing this low percent runs where it's the same as any percent, except you're not allowed to use any items that you can pick up and put in your inventory. The reason that we specifically define it as that is because since it's an item you can use at the start of the game without picking up any items, even in low percent you're still allowed to use Konami.
Just because you already have it on you, there's nothing added on top of it by using the blue fairy. It's just already on your person. Yeah,
low percent specifically restricts using an item that is picked up throughout the run and can be equipped.
Grab and find as little as possible.
Yeah, low percent is beat the game with
besides
actively not picking up extra
essentials.
Things. Yeah, you do not.
Oh, hang in there. Okay. Seb was just swimming in the spikes there. That can happen with that room, though. You kind of have to hit the spikes to get back up there, at least without, you know, maybe missing a jump and just hitting the spikes afterwards once the iframes are done.
Yeah, we mentioned spikes were bad. The reason is because they instantly kill you. The only reason Seb didn't die from the spikes there is because invincibility frames from getting hit earlier. That's the only reason. So yeah, Seb here going to upgrade the Spring Leaf.
Oh, that was
taking a hit.
Start. And taking a hit there.
Yeah. If you're committing,
is looking pretty.
If you're committing to not using the pocketed sensory, you don't want to skip any more. Like, you don't want no pocketed sensory and no heavy arrows. If you're skipping pocketed sensory because you got hit, you definitely will want the heavy arrows. But yeah, as long as we definitely gotten to the point that we will need a big mistake from Seb for this to turn around. Otherwise we're gonna be seeing a game 3.
Yeah. Oh, Matos has actually gone full low percent there, but actually,
taking a hit again.
They're going full low percent, so they don't even need the heavy arrows.
Yeah,
that's
Yeah, not quite full low percent. There's a few items here and there, Bachman patch and tainted missive, but it's like it's
But
a
mostly
kind of a
sticking to their
hybrid.
guns.
It's
Mostly
hybrid.
sticking to their guns though, just to get it done.
We're gonna invent a new category after this, somewhat low percent. Just for Matos specifically.
Yeah.
Okay, so only thing to quickly mention about the clone angel that Seb just took down. The quick kill strat is tainted missive, and then 2 melee hits and two sparse threats, followed by 2 melee hits. The tell, which is not intentional by the devs, but it is consistent, is whichever flies lower is the rule. The dev intended tell is the
little televising the little sparkle effect when she fires her projectile. One's
exactly.
white, one's red. Real one is red.
Yeah, and the fake one is white.
But somewhere in the middle, some jank was there, and
so Mato's trying to use the Konami ferry here to try and hit the off-screen switch. I don't think it works.
Full low percent.
In the end, decided to use the Bachman patch anyway.
Honestly, I wouldn't. Yeah. Might as well, honestly, because
did,
like sometimes you can get screwed there.
Matos did actually show off low percent in this tournament in his first round match.
Did he? I forgot.
Yeah, the first round match. I believe I was on comms for that, but I'm not sure. I've commed a lot, but so there's a few matches I wasn't the commentary for, besides obviously my own. Although I could do it. If you let me, I could totally just commentate my own match.
Hey, I think I gave you the offer before, so I'm not holding you back.
But yeah, that is time on Seb's end, so
yeah. But still, I mean, it's not gonna be too bad of a pace for Matos here, considering that they're working without like what the last 2 to 3 items. So
yeah. You know. Let me check something real quick. Also, shoutouts to the speedrun.com page for this game, which uses the game code of Momo4. Because you know the game's full title is Momodora Reverie under the Moonlight, but this is the first game to use a subtitle like that. The first 3 games were just Momodora and then Momodora 2 and 3. But while this is the first to do this, it won't be the last, as the 5th game in the series, and which is pretty much confirmed by the developer to be the final entry in the series, is the 5th game, which is currently, I believe it's currently in development, is Momodora Moonlight Farewell. You can wishlist it on Steam now if you want.
Don't wishlist it. It's gonna mine bitcoins. Look out!
All right.
Just kidding.
See, so something I wanted to point out was how fast Seb was in this game. 22:37. That would have been 10th on the leaderboard.
Oh yeah.
And it's only 13 seconds away from Seb's PB.
And there's still a few flubs there, so that was really good. That was really,
I think Seb has. Good. Yeah, I think Seb has been saying 21 14. Is possible for them, and 21 flat is the current world record for this category by Hey Ho.
It's been there for about almost 5 years now, actually.
Well, 4. I'm seeing it on Speedrun. I have the Speedrun.com page up here to check for things.
I think we're coming up on 5.
July.
I'm not exactly sure. July.
July 4th, 2019 is when this record was set.
Ah, maybe time hasn't been passing as fast as I thought it was. Other than that, though, Matos coming up to the end here. Looking to be like a 25, 55. I'm just gonna Hail Mary that. Oh, actually, I forgot they don't got the items, so that's like a 26.
Yeah.
Or not? Hey. Well, close.
Yeah. GG, 26 flat.
Pretty good. Just like what Power Lord just said in the chat there, Minoria is also very nice. Make sure to look into
And yes,
that game as well.
Minoria is a game separate from the Momodora series, but it's by the same developers. It is by Bomb Service.
Mm. Other than that, though, Seb taking game 2. Moving on to game 3. Not really. I mean, Matos definitely lost some really good chances to recover near the end there, but really, that was a complete reversal of the last match, of the last round there. So I think both the runners at this point they're kind of in their element right now. They're kind of at full speed here now.
Yeah. Also, give me a quick second while I acquire those hydration tools I mentioned earlier.
So how are we feeling?
To you watching, I recommend you do the same. You know, grab yourself a beverage, a snack or two, and prep yourselves for what is setting up to be a wonderful game 3 to decide this match.
True. For those who are still here, though, how are we feeling about this? We excited? The match is fun? Is the Momo Gaming epic?
Hi, I'm back. What I miss?
Nothing much at all.
Yeah.
It'll be about a minute or so
until
the match starts. Seb's doing something.
I'm usually, I'm usually pretty good with talking for a while. Last week I did commentary for a 4-hour run where where I went through my water bottle after the first hour. So I had nothing for the following 3, but you know, I sat through it.
It's good. Is there anything you want to see besides like who will win? Is there any like strats you want to see for this next round?
I know they're not gonna do it because they do something better, but you know, using Tainted Missive in between Lupior and Magnolia phases.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, you know what I actually want to see? I want to see a tie.
A tie? Now that would be crazy because
tie in game 3. Like, just so we need to run a game 4 so we can have even more Momo gaming.
It had to be tied down to the millisecond in that case. That would be crazy if that actually happened. That's like a real clash right there.
Frame perfect tie. We have the outer figure to tell us things.
Alright, match should be starting soon.
Yep, runners doing their final preparations. Ready to put their best foot forward, because
this is the last shot both of them have.
This is one for every single marble.
Whoever takes this moves on.
And yeah, whoever ends up falling short in this one is out.
Both have had a really good run, though.
Yeah, this is the
inside and outside of this tournament.
Like, yeah, whoever drops out here still finishes 4th. Like 4th out of everyone.
Mm.
Yeah.
There's one thing I want to see.
We've had a couple matches. Yeah, we've had a couple matches go to a game 3 already. So, and with this, we have another.
I'm pretty sure, like, I would say like a good majority.
And yeah, we've been mentioning we've been mentioning upper bracket and lower bracket before, but just to make it clear, this is indeed a double elimination tournament. So, and yeah, the winner of this is moving on to the lower bracket finals to face Googler, and the winner of that match will be facing Dream Fox in the grand finals. If the loser bracket winner wins that first best of 3 set, then there will be another best of 3 set.
Oh, it's gonna be a slog for whoever's in the losers, because it can take a bit, and if it's a game 3 for both of them, we're talking on lengthy. We'll have to.
Yeah, but let's be real. Let's be real. Whoever proves themselves and comes out as a winner of that lower bracket finals, they'll have displayed the skill that they can pull that off. Like that result will at that point speak for itself.
That's true.
So it'll all work out. It will still be all to play for, even if Dream Fox can afford a set loss.
Oh, Matos missed the orb there. Okay, there we go. Had to get back up there and hit it. So that's a little bit of a loss, but
I feel like I'm the only one that does what I do when I wait for the wall to come down.
What's up?
Standing at the door waiting, but then moving to the left slightly to bait the enemy into an attack and dodging it, and just constantly baiting him.
Yeah.
And I have died and had to reset the run.
Yeah, you gotta watch out, because you don't have much space to move back with.
I have, but it's like super early in the run, so it's not like, oh, this would have been the PB run that I just throw away this early. Like, that's not how speedrunning works. Also, yeah, one last thing to mention about this early game is 80 is the magic number. That's the cost of the crystal seed. So the first chest they pick up has 20 in them, and then the second chest they pick up has around 40 to 50. I know it feels random how much it is. You generally always come out with.
Sometimes you can get
sometimes
money.
Yeah, sometimes you come out with 61. You can come out of the second chest with like as low as 61. 60 is the least you need there, because the final chest has 20 in them.
And there's a couple of rooms where you can grab some money from enemies killed. If you want if you think you can reach it before reaching the last chest.
Out of that second chest, you can come out with as few as 61 or as many as like 73. And then the final chest has 20 in them. So it's 20, 60, 20 no, it's 20, 40, 20 essentially. Like 20, 40 something, 20.
Oh, that almost happened again. Matos almost fell into the spike pit there. That spot's jumping in midair. That I struggled with that spot.
So yeah, Mocha. So yeah, quick explanation of Mocha. Mocha has a couple attacks. Throw a few blocks up close by. That's what makes it risky to attack up close. There's also this attack with a lot of pellets, which you may compare to you are permitted to make Toho comparisons to that one. And then there's this big ball it shoots at you that then explodes. If that hits you, it does damage. It also leaves a cloud, like a fog
Curse
cloud
cloud.
thing behind that. Curses you if you get hit. Curse is a status effect that disables you from using items. You do not want to get hit by that, because
Just
like
took a dive there.
if you take damage, then you get hurt, obviously, and that's your damage is run gone. If you but yeah, if you get cursed, you can't use your items, and you want to use your items for Lubella.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that's where the real fight starts, and that's when you can get just a lot of damage.
Mocha is very much a phase 0 to that fight.
Yeah.
And then when Lubella shows up is when the actual fight starts. Is like,
in a way, though, you can kind of say like Mocha's health is part of Lubella's. It's just like a phase.
Yeah, it is true, because that is how you trigger the next phase of the fight. You need to just damage Mocha to a certain extent.
Mm-hmm.
Like 70, 67-ish % health, and then Lubella will show up. Mocha will run away like a crybaby and call for his mommy, and then his mommy actually shows up, and it's a big witch lady that tries to beat you up. I don't know if it actually works like that, but it feels like that.
Yeah,
Mocha's is like it's like a little imp demon, and then you have Lubella, which is like this demon witch. Like her title is the Witch of Decay. That seems pretty demon-like, if you ask me.
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen it on screen here, because these are two runners that have kept the names vanilla. Because this is something we do allow in runs, because we haven't yet banned having fun. So for now, we may become grumpy old men at one point and decide to ban having fun. But for now,
we run text editing.
Yeah.
You can change the text in the files where they store all the dialogue.
Yeah, officially you are allowed to change every single dialogue of text. I forget what happens if you change the number of text boxes. I don't know if the game is able to handle that, or if it can't and maybe crashes, but changing the text at least does not do anything. And this is the type of game where the first button press makes the full text appear, and then the next button press clicks the text away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think for the most part, the file is just... it allows you to change the formatting and stuff, but you can't remove any text boxes or make them progress faster, or anything that would give you a speed advantage.
One of the more prominent ways in which runners change things up with that is change Lubella's name to something involving diving. Some people rename her to a diving instructor.
Yeah, I think DreamFox runs that, right?
I had one time. There was a time where I had changed Frida's name, which I want to point out because the runners are fighting Frida now. Like Seb finished, and Matos is currently fighting Frida. Where I had changed Frida's name to Android 16's favorite boss as a reference to Dragon Ball Z Abridged because birds. Like, that was my bird joke.
Other than that, though,
technically, so something I've also mentioned in some of my commentaries for these matches is how I could technically change Lubella's name to something that I could then use as a visual cue to see at what health I want to go in with sparse threats for the kill on Lubella 2. Use the boss name as a visual cue for what the health needs to be at, because that's what I prefer to do for Lubella 2 is use the sparse threats to finish the fight.
Up to you. I don't think that's really anything too crazy.
No,
you
exactly.
Already should be doing that.
I did do. Yeah, there was a time where I had a visual cue for it based on the default name of Lubella, the Witch of Decay. But yeah, something else I also did was for a marathon run I did of this, where I changed the ending text to be like related to the marathon.
Yeah,
like
I remember those.
I didn't change the text to like Thanks for
That's
watching.
not good. Oh, Seb screwed himself there. He took some poison at low HP, and then Lubella just scrambles out of there. So he was screwed there. He was gonna die.
Yeah. So for anyone confused, yeah, Seb would have died before being able to finish the fight, and got poisoned again, got hit again. This is
rough.
This is not the kind of thing you want to see in a game 3.
Mm-hmm.
This
can
really
happen with
devastating.
Lubella too. This is where Lubella 2 shines. Is if you go full aggression, she can kill you just as quick.
Yeah, that's another thing I wanted to mention about when I was talking about this was one of the few one of 2 bosses besides the final boss, or the only boss besides the final boss that you don't have to do that damage test. That does not make this fight any easier.
Mm-hmm.
Not needing damage list does not make this fight easier. Matos got damage list anyway because he's a legend. And so yeah, you can see the sparkle there. That's where the item spawns. So it would even be a time loss to pick it up because it spawns away from where you want to go.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta have the right setup for that fight. Because you want to because you're just going to be swinging your leaf and you have a little bit of commitment to the attack. You can roll out of it, but if
it is also,
you're going to be needing to hit, the boss, so you're committing to that movement the attack gives you.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure you're not running into anything, or that you're getting knocked back into anything else.
Yeah. On top of that, that arena is a very confined space, which becomes even more confined as partway during the fight, Lubella actually removes the edges of the stage, so it becomes even smaller, and there's spikes on the outside with no platform. So even if you were to damage boost through the spikes, because you have invisibility frames from getting hit, you just pass through, fall into the abyss, and die.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that can happen too. If you were to finish the fight above the spikes, you're locked in. You can't move away from the spikes. You can't jump back on stage. So you'll just fall into the spike pit or through the spike pit, and you'll have to restart. So you really got to focus on your positioning in that fight.
You can try, all you can do in that point is mid-air jump, and that is not enough to get you back on.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Seb.
That being said, though,
I say like a 9. Okay, well, there will be a point where. Okay, so 11:49. So I'm looking for this departure. Yeah, okay, 59. So yeah, it's around the 10-second gap between the runners right now. So Matos being ahead by 10 seconds.
Oh, okay. I forgot there was a delay.
Yeah, you can see.
That's not bad though. That's still good. So
yeah, exactly.
Seb still has a good shot here. I mean, we're still coming up to Arsonist, so.
Yeah, Arsonist. We've seen Arsonist be a considerable swing in this match already, in the earlier games.
Maybe Matos can die on his way to the Warp Frag. Who knows? That's not likely to happen, but
yeah, no. What is more likely is taking a hit here and there to get slowed down by a few seconds. Maybe miss the platform cycle, although this platform cycle is quite a bit more generous than the one at the start of the game.
Mm-hmm. Generous, but if you do miss it, huge time loss because you can't even restart the room. You're locked into that little space there, like Matos is in here right now. You can't go back up. You'll have to wait for those elevators until you.
And even if you could, it would be so slow to do that.
Mm.
All right, so let's time this again. So 24 on Matos for this, and 32. So 8 seconds now. So Seb's crawling back a little bit.
Yeah.
This is kind of exciting. It's kind of exciting to do like score updates like this every now and then. So we'll look at the times. We'll look at the times again when the runners finish Arsonist. It'll be a good way because once Arsonist is finished, that's when we can you know, actually look at what time the runners are at and what the discrepancy between the two is.
Yeah. Toad's taking the save there. Honestly, not like even like it's kind of a safety save in the sense that you can save a little bit faster beforehand. Kind of. I mean, I don't even think you need to save.
I'm thinking of if that is a save you would take to replenish items, but I think items are already replenished by that point.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the save down at the place where you start as cat form, that's like the last save you can the minimum amount of saves you can take at that point. But
well,
that's not losing.
No,
you don't lose much by taking the save here, especially considering how easy you can get hit here.
You would take another save after that, right? Because after the cat form save, you do use the star threads on the night.
Your way out from
I reckon the save bell in Grove, either before or after Floriciella.
After.
That's
either or really. But...
Yeah, that's probably another good point to save. And then you can also save here directly after Arsonist to get your stuff back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this one's essential.
Also,
but it's it kind of falls in line.
Also, I looked at the pickup of the dash fragment, and Seb's been reducing his lead further. The difference is now 6 seconds.
Oh, so he's taking the lead here. Okay.
Oh, I may have misspoken. I meant to say Seb is behind by 6 seconds, so reduce the lead by 2 seconds from when we last checked in.
Close though. It's still really close.
Yeah, you can see.
There was definitely some,
so on screen they're more or less equal now, but yeah, there is that 4 second discrepancy on the viewpoints here. So yeah, at this point you can pretty much look at the difference between the timers and it'll be accurate to the lead. So yeah, 4 seconds here. Yeah, this is lining up so extremely well.
Yeah, it really is.
It's kind of lovely to see.
Ooh.
Oh.
Nice call there. Oh, the rollback. That was so good.
Yeah, see, this is that low percent experience coming into play. Like, Matos knows how to deal with a final fight not going according to plan.
Mm. Yeah, that was really, really good. But Seb's taking a little bit. Actually,
yeah, so right now I'd say Seb is about 4 seconds ahead, which in practicality means the runners are actually tied.
Yeah, it's even closer now. It's
let's see. So that was a 23. Yeah, it's like Matos is maybe like half a second ahead. So this is really gonna come down to how clean the runner's movement is.
Mm-hmm. And Loopier. Yeah, we're right at.
Oh yeah, the movement that's gonna determine like who's gonna go into Loopier with the lead. Because yeah, the runners haven't really been showing it, but well, it's happened in game 2 with Matos where things went funky.
Mm-hmm. And going out with a couple of items, but I think Matos has got everything they need now. So far, both are looking pretty clean. Oh, what? Holy crap! I guess the sword. Also, yeah, the sword caught him there. Seb got hit by the skeleton on his way out. That little space.
Was it the sword hit? I feel like the sword hit does more damage than the health he's currently missing.
I mean, like the sprite, the idle sprite of the skeleton. He touched the sword, which I imagine is probably part of the hitbox. So he.
Oh yeah, okay. If you mean the contact damage, yeah, that probably checks out.
Yeah, because he got knocked back when it looked like he passed him, but he didn't, I guess.
All right, some good movement by Matos to build up a small lead into this.
Yeah, really, really good on both of them, really.
Missive, Bachman. So, yeah, this is another thing that we do for this fight specifically, is use the Bachman patch before initiating the fight. Also, that has not been mentioned.
Ooh, the double hit. Oh my gosh.
Matos is already done. Magnolia is taking forever to spawn in this boss fight. Seb's committing to not having heavy arrows, which...
Nice. Alright, now this is a little bit sketchy, but Seb will be going on without the heavy arrows. That is pretty much a 15-second time loss. So he's going to have to play his heart out here. It's the only option he has.
Made up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really the only option at this point.
Yeah, with how solid the runners have been today, yeah, resetting would have definitely meant a loss.
Yeah. It's do or die now. As of now, though, good movement from both of them.
Yeah, Matos coming up to the relief upgrade.
I was wondering if it's going to get crazy here with the third match. It definitely is.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of... I forget, do you get you do get an item for beating the final boss damages, right? When you start New Game Plus?
Yeah. Key item, I think. It's called the Birthstone. I forgot what the lore on it is, but it's from the Queen, I think. Like something.
Yeah. One last thing to mention about the. One last thing to mention about the fresh spring leaf that you upgraded to. So what actually happens in universe is you dip your leaf in hibisco tea.
Yeah.
So don't ask me what hibisco tea is meant to be.
Yeah, me neither. Honestly,
what does that hibisco taste like?
Well, apparently it's good enough to make a leaf green and extremely powerful, like a freaking
it has special
evil cursed sponge.
As it turns out, it has special purifying powers.
Just sucks up all that dark energy. Just give me that.
Yeah. Also, as we have 2 runners and we've done 3 runs now, 6th time that we pass by Kath spilling ketchup/red wine and any other red-colored beverage you want to compare this to, or red-colored liquid you want to compare this to that isn't blood.
It's not blood. Yeah, she's just clumsy. A little bit
exactly.
of a messy eater.
That's what I mean. Any red-colored liquid that isn't blood, because it isn't blood.
Mm-hmm.
It's not blood. It's either ketchup or wine or red Gatorade. Is there such a thing as red Gatorade?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't Gatorade.
Gatorade me.
I am not an expert. I need
Gatorade
experts. I need Gatorade experts to confirm this.
I think it's cherry, like a cherry flavor. I don't like that Gatorade.
That makes sense. Cherry flavor is cherry. There's commonly 3 flavors that are themed around the color red. It's either cherry, strawberry, or raspberry. Although raspberry is also commonly pink.
Yeah. On that though, I think. Listen, as long as nothing changes between these two, I think Matos has it.
Yeah.
And not by much either. It's going to be really close. Oh.
How are you looking forward to your match against the winner of this?
I don't know I mean, they're going to be asking that next, so I'll think this through and I'll tell you.
Yeah. Like, go ahead and think of your responses for the interview, because you're part of the conversation here with where this tournament's heading. Yeah, that's it. GG.
Good stuff from both of them. That was crazy.
Yeah, that is going to be really close. Watch this timer. Oh, quick dodge there. You're on the attack.
Ooh, there we go. Nice.
There it is.
Nice.
So yeah, 29 seconds in the end.
Still good execution though.
Oh, hi Matos. You got here fast.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hello.
How you doing?
Hey,
a little I guess nervous. I guess I don't know what the right word is, but like high energy.
Flustered.
Yeah.
Like you said last match.
Well, last match I was like kind of off, but this time I'm like, I don't know, on but energetic.
A little warmed up. A little bit
Yeah.
more.
I mean, it is fine against Niyaki last one.
Yeah, I was just like everything felt a little off.
Yeah,
Like, I
you're
just was
always
doing
good.
things.
I always feel off, even if I'm practicing really hard. You always gotta control those nerves. So, well, how you feeling? Like, or excuse me, we already asked this technically, but like,
Yeah, we'll get some more.
could you see yourself winning this?
I mean, I thought it was possible, but I thought it was unlikely. And after game 2, I was thinking, well, at least I took one game, but probably gonna. I guess we'll have to see how this third game went, and it went pretty well, so happy with it.
Yeah, you both did really good on this one. Yeah, game 3 between you two, second half it was neck and neck, and it only got closer and closer as you approached the end there. Hey Seb,
So,
Hey, how you doing?
hello.
GG's.
GG's.
Yeah, GG's. Wonderful show here from both of you. Let's put that out first.
Yeah, game 3 was really really good, and honestly, game
This
1 and 2 were almost like parallel with each other.
Like
You
this
took
is
the
the
lead,
kind of
Seb, or Matos, I think, took the lead in game 1, probably like a 30-second difference, and then you took the lead in game 2, with Matos having like a 30-second difference. So overall, and then game 3, you two were just neck and neck. So I mean, overall, really, you guys were doing really, really good.
yeah. There was never really all that massive of a gap.
Except for maybe at the end of game 2, but that's just because I took that arsonist hit like right at the end of the boss fight, and I didn't want to spend a minute resetting it. So yeah, and then I messed up on Lupiar. So yeah, that one was a little snowbally from me.
I appreciate
really
the commitment, though.
There was like you two were always close enough that one big mistake would mean the other person would take over the lead.
Your commitment to not using the items, though, was really cool to watch, though.
Well, it's just a I find that if I miss it the first time, it's faster for me to just go through it than to reset for the boss usually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, since you already know a thing or two.
I mean,
Yeah.
you're quite the enjoyer of low percent, are you not?
Yes, I am. I messed. If I hadn't messed up Lupiar, I think I would have been like 25 minutes. But then I messed that up, so I didn't have heavy arrows, which really messes up the queen fight. So it was if I hadn't like messed up that one fight, I still would have only been like 24-minute, like 25-minute range.
Yeah, we did touch upon it a few times. Particularly that in the last game, the Fennel fight that did not quite go according to plan. So you had to improvise, and we assumed that it was the low percent experience coming through.
Yeah, it definitely helps on that one.
Recovering that fight.
I mean,
sorry.
Both my game 2 and game 3 Fennels kind of had to improv a little. On game 2, of course, I didn't have the item, so I couldn't really use the Bachman patch. So I had to just do it the way low percent, basically. And then on game 3, I just didn't get lucky with my Bachman patch hitting.
Was there any like, for either of you, was there any like big like strats you were like looking to try and get to like make a difference, take a lead in something? Any big strats you had in mind?
No, I just play like normal.
A trump card, so to say, to flip the script.
Yeah.
I usually don't skip saves, and I skipped saves. So I was playing a little riskier than I usually do. But I thought I needed the extra few seconds, so.
Yeah, it can be really hard to decide on.
It paid off in the end.
Mm-hmm. It paid off, but it was still, pretty close.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just play like normal, like Game 2 went okay. It was a good time. Then Game 1, I had that death in
Look
in
at
Forest, which was kind of
listen to this guy. Says he plays just okay when he gets a time that would be 10th on the leaderboard.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was better
you-
than
like
my
this-
PB on
this-
that game too. So
This speaks volumes about how solid these runners are at the game.
Yeah, considering some of the differences other matches have seen or rounds have seen between like the person who wins and the person who loses, all the matches were roughly within a minute of each other at most. So, despite the unfortunate events, it was really good. It's still very competitive.
Yeah.
There was still
So-
reason to. I mean, if either one of you were stream sniping it or watching the stream, right, seeing what the other one was doing, there was still a good reason to make risky plays and to take a shot or two.
I mean, you could have also done the race time thing on live split and both joined and then see the deltas between each other because race time has that functionality nowadays.
No.
Oh, really?
Could have. You could. The question is if you should.
I don't bother with looking at anything just because I don't want to.
Yeah, something like that would be
Distract
better
myself.
for just like the casual race setting. It's like, hey, I want to do a race. It's like, okay, yeah, let's go, and then you do that for the funsies. For a tournament setting like this, you want to just focus on your own thing.
Mhm. Keep your head in the game.
TVH, I just play. I don't even bother looking at the time.
Hey,
Okay,
that's not a bad strat.
Yeah, that too. If you,
Helps with the nerves if you just play, right?
yeah, that's why. That's why, as that's like a recommendation for you fellow speedrunners watching this, is if you have been away for a while from a game and you're coming back, and you're doing your first runs since returning, don't compare to BB. Compare to average. It'll be better for your mentality.
True.
Yeah, that's true.
If you compare to BB right away, you're just going to be seeing red or whatever color you have set to your live split for behind.
I'm too lazy to do that though. So don't use me as an example.
Imagine pressing buttons.
I mean, I'd agree on it being lazy because it's not hard to swap comparisons.
Yeah, imagine not just opening live split and start running from the get-go.
Like you never even stopped.
With this game you can because because the other splitter.
True.
But yeah, Seb, how do you look back on the tournament as a whole? Because you've obviously had a very good run since you got this far. Yeah,
Spent a little bit of time in cryostasis though.
Picked up a bunch of wins in the upper bracket, but then fell the lower bracket, but you kept going anyway until this point.
Well, look at it this way. I didn't even play my first match because my opponent decided to quit the tournament for good reasons. So I don't blame them.
Yeah, true.
Then I played one game against Nyaki, then against Dream. Then I was frozen in time for 8 months.
Yeah.
And then I played
the tournament didn't proceed much faster, so you're fine.
Yeah. In that time, I did everything. I even went fishing, but I didn't play Momodora.
Speaking of fishing, like Matos is fishing right now.
Yeah. Get a nice
chilling on the boat.
Using that like dragonfly's bait. Look at that.
Yep.
Oh, it's got. Oh, I think it got a bite. It's lights off screen now.
Ooh, get a good one.
Pull.
Yeah. I kind of wish I could have played more games. I guess.
Yeah.
It is what it is, though. It happens. But
next tournament, we'll figure out a longer format. We'll make the matches best of 5.
If it happens again, I'm We gotta keep
Best
tabs.
of 5 bad ending. Let's go.
We gotta take care of. We gotta keep it quick. Gonna try and work on it if it ever happens again. That's definitely priority one.
Oh yeah, this tournament's taken it's taken a while. So if we ever do another tournament, it will be a while before we do it again. But we may.
We'll see.
Yeah, if there's another tournament, I'll probably practice a little more. That would be good.
I still need to practice.
I just need to kind of improve in general. For me, it's not so much practice as much as just getting better.
Yeah, get a little practice. It's probably
you
good.
guys-
For example,
I've got work to do when you guys are here, just getting run times in all these 3 games. Like all 6 times of yours are below my sum of best. That means I have work to do.
Before this, I was playing Blasphemous 2. Probably not a good translation of experience from one game to another.
Yeah, how is that?
You should probably play the game you're gonna race. That's what I'm gonna say.
Got a little sucked in?
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, then
Just a
it's
little
good then.
Yeah. But yeah, it was nice to them. Yes, good run. Ending 4th is nice. Like the other tournament that I ended 3rd, now I ended 4th. Like they're good results.
Yeah.
I'll probably try to work out to get a 2nd next one.
I mean, regardless of where you land, your performance in the matches was still a good, I mean, considering your odds, right? If you're not practicing much and you still have this kind of performance, that's still good.
Yeah, I would say that if there's another tournament in the future, what I want to get back is my consistency, because last one I entered when I was just starting to speedrun the game, but at least across all the races I had in the first one, I was consistent with the times I got. Like they were all very similar, and here.
Well, I mean, your skill cap was also lower back then, right? Because you hadn't been running as long. So I feel like consistency is easier at those levels. Like you get better, but it also means mistakes are more costly. Therefore, consistency is harder. So I think the fact that you're, I don't think it's more so you being less consistent as much as you being so much better that it's harder to be consistent.
Yeah, you say that, but when the last tournament ended, I was already on 23 area. So
yeah, he was learning pretty quick.
I mean, a minute can mean a lot in this game. It's a fairly short run. That's why we're doing best of 3s for this, because the game is short, or the run is short. If you're playing this casually, you can have a couple hours of fun with this, but yeah, for a speedrun's pretty short, less than 30 minutes.
Like looking at this tournament, I had a lot of matchups where I was getting 24s, 25s. Then in this one, for example, game 2 was at 22-37, and then the other game 1 and 3, I had big mistakes that costed like 30 seconds to 1 minute, and there we go. So yeah, I want to at least get consistently sub 23 if there's another tournament. So I'll probably practice a little more.
I'll be right there with you.
I'm sure you will.
No matter what,
I'm here.
No matter what happens.
This is like the only game I run that has enough people to do tournaments for. Like all the other games I run don't have enough runners to do a proper tournament. So whenever there is anything tournament like for this game, I'm right there. I'm on the front door banging. Why do you think I've been on commentary for so many of the matches this tournament? I'm taking every opportunity I can here.
Your commentary was great. Thank you very much for taking taking it every time you can.
Mm.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, I'm the one that pushed you guys 2 hours earlier so I could.
Yeah, it's okay. I was actually worried because you guys know that there has been some remodeling around my house, and last game against Azul, I asked her to play like in 50 minutes from now because I was worried that I was gonna be interrupted and stuff, and it actually ended up happening.
Oh,
That I got super tight on time, but I arrived just for the game.
that was
But
good.
today, luckily, was one of those days that everything was chill, so I could play
Without
right when we started.
disturbance.
Yeah, it was okay.
No complications. Mostly.
Yeah,
You
mostly.
did have that visit in between, but at least it was in between, like you said.
I don't know.
Yeah,
It's like
A speedrunner's biggest enemy, real life.
you start doing
Dun dun
something
dun.
and things happen. Children scream, cars running around. I don't know. It's weird.
You make do with it.
But yeah. Okay, so for next month, I'll take you all to play Ender Lily so we can do a tournament of that.
All right.
And then we will all be a happy family.
You'll buy me the game, right?
But of course!
That's
Oh, you're willing to pay for the trip?
That's the
Of
trade-off.
course.
All right. All right.
Just let me get the money.
Yeah, maybe a good just sum of cash for all that.
Yeah,
Looking
yeah.
at like a 12-person tournament, you got to add that up.
Well, I think it's about time we wrap up here. Thank you all for watching. Seb, any final words before we sign off here?
GG's Tomatoes, you did incredibly well. Good luck against Googler. That will be nice.
Thanks.
I'm
I'll
scared.
definitely need the luck.
I'm scared.
Yeah.
Just PB.
Matos,
Back to back.
how are you feeling? How are you feeling going up against Googler?
I mean, I already lost against Googler, so I guess it's a redemption, and
I'm
it's also
scared.
been like a year, so I have improved a lot, but I'm still not
Googler-
sure.
With all due respect, I don't think you're gonna 2-0 again. You might win, but it's not gonna be 2-0.
I'm scared.
Don't worry, Matos. Just PB back to back. That's what DreamFox did against me. And it
Yeah,
worked
that's
great.
basically what I'll need to do.
I barely get 23s.
You'll be
Better get
fine.
practicing then. Anyway, Matos, any final words?
Just GG's to Seb. You did really well. It's been great in the tournament so far, so looking to see how it ends.
True.
Yep.
Very fun games from everybody.
GG you both. GG you both. Matos, congrats on moving on. Seb, congratulations on getting on grabbing 4th place here. And yeah, that's gonna be it from us.
Hopefully,
Thank you all for watching once again. I said it earlier.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it again because I'm just that grateful that you've tuned in for this.
That's right. Well, I guess I can't really say exact. We'll see another match soon, basically.
Yeah,
Should be happening soon.
this
But
tournament's
we'll
not
see how
over.
we all feel.
There's at least 2 more matches to go. There's the upper bracket finals that we've mentioned multiple times here. That is now going to be between Googler and MatosMachine.
Mm-hmm.
And you've seen the damage Matos can do today, so that's gonna be a banger of a match to watch. And then the winner of that banger then goes up against DreamFox in the grand final. So stick around because this is the most epic of Momo gaming is still yet to come.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
Anyways, make sure to keep up on the Discord, the schedule, and the bracket and all that. Maybe sometime
join the
within the next 2 weeks, maybe a week or 2.
And join the
match will come
Discord
by.
if you're interested in this series in any capacity, because we have a Discord for the entire series. There's also the other games, and we have a plethora of extremely helpful people.
Mm-hmm.
They helped
Very,
me.
very
They
good
helped
community.
me learn this game.
Yeah.
So they can also very much help you. Anyway, that's gonna be it from us. Goodbye, everybody.
Have a good one, everybody. GG's. Have a good one.